need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
My next question, which comes from Jean, and Jean is writing from Connecticut, Ellington. I don't know where that is. I don't know where I am in Connecticut, but I'm learning little by little. Each auction stop that I make is teaching me more and more about how I'm connected to larger Connecticut, and who knows? I may buy something spectacular from Ellington on an upcoming auction. I'll keep you posted. All right, you write, "Hi Betsy, I'm a fan of mixed metals. I recently purchased this artwork from Wayfair and I love it. My question is, what other metals do I use? For instance, can I go with something brass or nickel like this one from West Elm? Or should I scrap that completely and look for something black or a color similar to the chandelier from Pottery Barn? Please help." All right, so let's look at this. Yes, you have a two-tone metal piece that combines both warm metal, brass, and cool metal, nickel. And when you introduce both metals into a space, you can decide if you want to use one metal for the other items or both metals for the other items. Typically, if I'm going to combine metals in a room, I pick one piece that's prominently located that combines both metals, whether it's the chandelier or, in this case, a beautiful wall hanging. It needs to be big and it needs to be conspicuous in the space so that everyone can understand what I'm doing. Oh, she's combining two metals throughout the space. That will allow you to use brass sometimes and nickel sometimes, and to combine them again in one element if you find that. Now, guys, you're probably saying to yourself, Betsy, you don't like combining warm and cool metals. And listeners, you are exactly right. I hate combining warm and cool metals. For me, they don't typically go together. But if you found a piece that you love that incorporates both, well, buck that trend. My rules are made to be broken once you learn them. You're going to have a very hard time finding another piece that combines warm and cool metals because there's just not that much selection out there. People have been listening to me and they're not creating stuff that combines these metals. But if you happen to find it, lean in. And in this case, for the rest of the items, whether it's a light fixture, whether it's a table lamp, whether it's the legs on your dining chairs, you can choose brass or the nickel or the cool, right? Warm or cool. And I would try to find one other piece that combines both. Like I said, that's a tall order, but I think that it will make this feel more intentional and make the room feel much more cohesive. A big thank you to Aton and the Embassy who wrote our theme song. A shout out to Catherine Heller who owns the podcast shop and is our editor extraordinaire. We also want to thank Ginny Sunasan and her team at the Savvy Podcast Agency for their help with our social, our YouTube channel, and so much more. We also want to thank Uploft, which is our parent company who supports this podcast. And lastly, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to you. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all your support.